Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. My special guest today, Baby Blues Barbecue owner Rick McCarthy and chef Nick Oberlin. They're with me here today to celebrate the 20th anniversary this month, right? Of Baby Blues Barbecue in Venice, California, the very best barbecue in the world. I've had it. I'm not I I went on, don't forget, I went on that barbecue pilgrimage. I know of what I speak of. This is really, really good barbecue. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, so when we left off, you had this great idea, this community spot, an idea for barbecue in Venice, California, a place that you would hang out, that your friends would hang out, that everybody felt comfortable. Staff enjoyed being there, guests enjoyed being there. Um, and it happened. It was you built it and they came. Did it happen right away, Rick? Were you successful right away, or did it take a little bit of build up?
It definitely wasn't right away. Yeah, there were nights where we just stared out the window, and
Yeah.
watched crimes going down on the corner. But it it started. It was a lot of word of mouth when it did start, and I think there was one blog site called Chowhound where people would blog about food, but it was
Yeah,
way
yeah, I remember that.
before way before Yelp and all those things. But it was like a little website where people could blog about food. So we would get something on that. And then it just it was slowly growing. And then the LA Times wrote an article which helped. Um, but it wasn't really until like 2007 we were on the Food Network and it blew up.
So imagine I want everybody listening to kind of go back to that time if you can imagine. And the younger listeners won't be able to imagine this, but 2000, even 2007, the iPhone came out. Facebook was launched in 2007. There was no Instagram. There was no TikTok. There were really the cell phones were the little flips and the little text, but really it was back to it was basics. It was people read newspapers, people watched television. There was no streaming. There was all these things that we take for granted now that we get the word out. But back then, it was word of mouth. And you said in the beginning that's kind of what you went after. You wanted people to really spread the word, right, about your place. The area that you are in as well. You mentioned looking out the window watching crimes. I remember that because I lived down on the beach 7 blocks towards the beach, and I would drive by you and by that area. And in the early days, that was kind of rough a little bit around there, wasn't it? I mean,
It
was
it
that fair?
was, yeah, there was a
But
prostitute on the
gritty.
corner, and every night there was a prostitute out there. There were drug dealers in the parking lot across the
Yeah.
street every night. A
Before
truck
there
would
was a
pull up.
Trader Joe's across and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
down there, right?
Well, nothing else was really open at night around there. Everything was closed at night
There was
except
a
for us.
Yeah.
So, when I would lock up at night, I'd have to look out the window first and make sure nobody was out there.
Everyone who worked there would get walked to their car,
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Yeah, it
bad. And
was.
then some places started opening around there at night, and there was more of a presence, and it kind of
Yeah.
changed a little.
I
Yeah.
said Trader Joe's. I meant Whole
Whole
Foods.
Foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, it was kind of rough, but that was what was a little bit made it cool, right? It was like
yeah,
gritty. It was kind of real. You felt like, yeah, I'm
yeah,
in LA and Venice, and uh,
yeah.
what the building, like describe how you chose it and describe,
It it
why. Go ahead.
it was a corner spot on Lincoln. It had been a barbecue place, just the kitchen part. We got the room next to it and made a dining room, but there had been a barbecue place there for a long time, but the guy retired and his kids didn't want to do it. So he put it up for lease, and so we moved in. We thought it'd be great to be on a corner on Lincoln Boulevard, even though
Yeah.
the area was not a great area. It had a lot of traffic and visibility. So we thought maybe if we can get people to turn their heads and see something that's worthy of stopping, because you would drive down Lincoln with blinders on, just to get to where you had to
Right.
go. There was nothing on Lincoln that was going to make you want to stop, certainly to eat.
Well, now everybody stops because they can smell it.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
you got your windows down. It's a warm summer night. You got that
Right.
great barbecue coming in. You're like, where is that place? I gotta go
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah.
Especially if
Um,
there's a little bit of traffic, backing
yeah.
it up a little bit. They go away a little slower, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a good little corner, but and you almost saw the future in a way of how hot all that area would become really one day, right? You're right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It
Go
was
ahead.
hopeful, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But it was definitely not what it is today. There was a lot of um, gritty charm, I suppose. I remember the first time I saw a Maserati in Venice, Venice Beach. That was unique.
Yeah.
And
Who
um,
was there were a couple people taking off the wheels?
no, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, they almost ran me over while I was skateboarding down the boardwalk, but no. Uh, uh, no, it is a yeah. The town's changed a lot, but in a lot of ways, it stayed the same. There's still a lot of people that have been coming in from the beginning that still come in today, and what's also kind of fun is like we'll have there's a guy yesterday that came in. He's like, oh man, I haven't been here in like 15 years, and because he moved to somewhere and he came back to LA for just something, and then we were the first place he came to, and that was really cool. Um,
Yeah.
It's
that
authentic. It's like if it was anywhere else, it would lose a lot of the charm. It's like authentic. It's like it feels kind of cool to be there. Not to mention that it's just amazing food and, your great staff, but it's just like it should be there. That's where it should be.
Hey,
Don't you feel
it
like
shouldn't be
that?
in a
Like,
really upscale area.
yeah, not
I
in like
remember
a,
before we got our beer and wine license, we used to have a igloo cooler sitting in the middle of the dining room with beers. And,
You can
for
help
like
yeah,
yourself.
hey,
Pabst,
help
Pabst
yourself.
Blue Ribbon and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, cold ice beer, river beers in a cooler. Uh, so Rick, tell me, what does Baby Blues barbecue mean to you personally? Like, how do you feel about the business?
It actually, it's like my baby. You know, I think like I have to protect it, I have to nurture it, I have to set it up for success and just like fight off anything that could challenge it or hurt it. It like having a little kid, it's just a constant vigilance and just always trying to make it better and surround it, keep good people there to really help nurture it and but it is my baby.
Yeah,
Rick's not
and
a parent, and
Yeah.
so and I am, and I know that that's not how you raise children.
yeah, yeah.
uh,
How are Rick's children? How is
yeah, no,
child?
love and nurture, and
Do you
yeah,
still
no,
enjoy
there's love, yeah, and
yeah,
there's fending, I
all the
suppose.
things that go along with raising a child, right, Rick? All
Right, right,
Yeah.
and
the
yeah,
love
and
and the
including the wine and beer, yeah,
lots of that. Daddy juice.
right.
Um, Rick, do you still love the hours? Do you still love the challenges that happen? I mean, never for anyone that's not in the restaurant business on that side of it. I mean, it never stops. It really is 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and it's never the same, right?
Yeah.
I mean, is that a
it
true statement?
yeah, every day is a different challenge. Every morning you go in with a plan, and it's like Mike
Throw
Tyson
it
said,
out.
everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And so at the end of the day, you go, oh, I never did that thing I was going to do when I got here this morning because just everything happens that you don't
Yeah.
expect. And
Rot of this or that's broken,
yeah,
or
somebody
oh,
didn't show up,
there's a
or
yeah,
Yeah.
we got a last
yeah,
minute reservation for 20 people.
a plumbing leak, or
Yeah,
just all kinds of it never
And
ends.
yeah, it
the
never
catering van
ends.
got towed.
Or yeah, or
Oh my, did that happen?
Not because of some sort of negligence. I think we had
Oh, yeah, that's right.
like an accident or something. We had yeah, we had
Catering van got towed.
we had a 235 person wedding up in
Oh,
Malibu, and we're on our way in our our big ugly van, and on the 405. I think it was on the four. Anyway, it doesn't matter what highway. It was one of the highways. So it came to a stop, and the guy behind us didn't, and then so they plow into the back of us, and I distinctly remember corn on the cob flying by my head, like ending up on the front
oh
dash.
my God.
But we made the wedding.
Yeah.
Everyone got fed and nobody got hurt. So
Yes.
Did the corn on the cob go to waste, or did you just, I mean, pick it up?
we put it back in the bucket. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I would have taken a bite. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
what is baby blues? What are your principles? What do you guys stand for? If you had to say, if you had to list a few things that you stand for, that the business stands for.
Um, Freedom of barbecue. Uh,
I like that. I
uh,
like that. Put that on your logo.
I
Is that
think,
on the t-shirt?
yeah, just
Hmm.
uh, just quality. You know, great, great service. Um, great. We start with great ingredients. Everything's house made. We make the sauces from scratch, all the sides. Um, it's just qualities
It's
and
real food. There's an honesty in it. We're not, we don't have secret ingredients or hard to pronounce ingredients with uh, any sort of odd chemical symbols behind them. It's real stuff, and that gives you a little bit of a makes you feel honest. You're not
yeah,
doing anything funny.
and we want to provide value,
Yeah.
to people, and
In your opinion, do you guys eat a lot of barbecue aside from your own? When you travel, do you try to check out places
You kind
or
of have
eat
to
other
if you
places?
see
Yeah.
it as an option,
yeah,
because you're curious,
yeah.
um, especially if it's something that
How's
you've
your
heard
wife
of.
feel about that, Nick? She still like barbecue too? She's
Oh,
not
she's so well
barbecuing.
fed. She's so well fed, and we don't just cook barbecue either. Obviously, at home, that's
Yeah.
not the only thing we eat, but the uh, yeah, no, it's there, and there's a lot of secret tricks to people have for how they get their brisket soft,
Yeah.
or they get the right smoke ring on the pork shoulder, that kind of stuff, and so you get to kind of hopefully talk with other people about it, which is a really fun thing to do, and then enjoy the fruits of their labor as well.
Did you ever think that you would know as much about barbecue as you do? That you would make it your life the way you do it?
Well, it's one of those things that if you're willing to do a good job at almost anything and you do it for a long enough period of time, you become an expert, and that's
Yeah.
sort of what happens. Um, the
There's
and
this.
it is one of those culinary styles that does have a lot of like finesse to it, despite
Right.
its kind of rustic and
Well, and respected because it's not everybody can do it.
right. Not everyone can
Almost
do
a
it.
science, right? Would that be
Oh,
fair to say it's
sure.
almost a
Yeah,
science
absolutely.
that and the procedures and the processes to really when you've had good barbecue, there's
Hmm.
nothing
Yeah,
like it compared to, I don't know what something that somebody else tried to make that and called it barbecue, but there's a real difference there. In your own
yeah.
words, aside from napkins, what does every great barbecue place have to have?
Oh, good question. Every good barbecue place probably needs to have
Beer,
dirty floors,
good sides.
a hopefully a well cleaned flue.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Gotta have a good exhaust system.
yeah. There's a lot of smoke coming out of there. The I think, and I've heard a lot of people say this. I think you can tell a good barbecue restaurant by its sides. That's something I've heard a lot of people say. It's like, yeah, you get your showcase kind of proteins, but then a good
And
barbecue restaurant will
yeah.
have a nice long list of sides and some things that that make it a meal.
You're not just opening a can of beans and heating it up.
Yeah,
And you have
and
quite a
the
few sides. How many sides do you have? Do you have 20? Is that you just
Yeah,
finished a
probably.
celebration for your 20th? You gave away 20 sides, right? And
yeah.
your
Each
newest
day
side
a
is
different.
fried pickles,
Yeah,
each day
yeah. I mean,
different.
we would play with those, and sometimes we'd do it, sometimes we wouldn't. But now we're gonna put it on the menu um, all the time because they're good.
They're pretty
Yeah.
good.
All right, we're talking with Rick McCarthy. He's the owner of Baby Blues Barbecue. Nick Oberlin, chef, Baby Blues Barbecue. I'm going to try to have him give away a few secrets for us here. Baby Blues Barbecue, of course, is in Venice, California, and it's celebrating its 20th anniversary. Really great milestone. It's won Best Barbecue Awards in major cities such as Los Angeles, San Francisco, Philadelphia. You can go to info@babybluesbarbecue.com, email them there for your parties. But I'd suggest you go online. There's an easy form to fill out for your, your ball parties, your Super Bowl party, or New Year's Eve, any celebration, any special occasion. Go to babybluesbarbecue.com on Facebook and Instagram, same handle, Baby Blues Barbecue. Go to Instagram and follow them and keep up with what they're doing. I did. Warning, there is a lot of good-looking food on there, so don't go don't go with an empty stomach. You can give them a call at 310-396-7675. Zagat, best of CitySearch, city's best, and as seen on TV on the Travel Channel, Food Network, diners, drive-ins, and dives, it's Baby Blues Barbecue, 20th anniversary. We'll be right back.